Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this video I want to talk about Warcraft Rumble as a free-to-play player. Many people complain that okay, I'm going to hit a wall as free-to-play and game's so pay-to-win. Is it really pay-to-win? What can you expect if you go into Rumble as a free-to-play player? How much of a grind is it going to be? Are you going to be able to have fun? That sort of things. And this is my free-to-play account. This is now roughly 2 weeks old. I am currently at 61 sigils, and this is my army, average level 11.7 with the dungeon bonuses. I actually could probably substitute in... Well, actually I probably can't. Well, this is pretty much it. 11.7 with dungeon bonuses using my starting leader that has a talent. So this is what I have after 2 weeks. And what has my journey been like? This is a no-grind account. What do I mean by no-grind account? That means that I don't grind the quests. Like, okay, well, here's the quest button. I have never done my 20 quests per day. I probably have the 300 quests stacked right now. I could do quests for all day long. By no grind, I'm doing progression. So I'm doing campaign. I do dungeons, I do the Arclight searches, because Arclight searches are the main repeatable source of gold. I do my 3 daily tomes that you get from these new rewards at midnight now. Each of these requires completing 3 maps, so those 3 maps could be Arclight searches, they could be campaign progress, they can be dungeons, so actually most of the days I don't have to do anything special about this, but sometimes I do some quests, and when there's like an epic quest on offer, sometimes a rare quest, yeah, I might do one of those every once in a while, but still very low grinding, so no grinding basically at all. And I'm at 61 sigils after 2 weeks with this kind of army. So I haven't met the usual walls at least, because I am past Dustwall Marsh. I'm currently in Ungaro Crater. I am way past Hinterlands. Hinterlands is another one that people complain about. I'm way past Lordaeron, another one that people often complain about. I've done some heroics with all families as well. Something that people just don't seem to be able to do often as free-to-play. So you can actually do quite a lot in this game as free-to-play. And I think the progression system as free-to-play is very, very smooth actually. It's challenging, but it's smooth. And yes, you can spend money on this game, and money will gain your minis levels, and then all the content is going to be easier, to the point of being trivial. But as a free-to-play, yes, you can progress quite smoothly, but you have to put a little bit of work into it. And by work, I don't mean grinding, I mean actual like skill in being able to tackle the encounters. You can find guides on pretty much all of this stuff that I have completed on the YouTube anyway, so yeah, you can see exactly how I've done it. And I think the key really is that don't get too stuck on just the campaign. And I don't mean grinding, but just too stuck on only the campaign, because when you gain sigils, you unlock more and more content. So, first of all, at 8 sigils you get PvP. PvP as free-to-play, yeah, that's a little tricky, because as your leaders gain honor, I've only 500 honor on these two. I've dabbled a little bit into PvP. I actually should do a little bit more of that, because there would be more gold available from PvP as well. But as your leaders gain honor, then level caps starting to become more lax, and eventually at 3000 per leader they're going to be removed altogether. So then you're going to face people who can have any level minis, and yours are pretty bad, so you won't really stand a chance. Even at low levels, below 1000 honor, everything is limited to level 1, but talents are available. So people with talents are going to have an edge. Although as a free-to-play you're going to be getting some talents. I think I have 2 or 3 at the moment. And basically now I'm at the point where I have bought all the minis, so I can get like 2 or 3 talents per week from here. So I could equip a team with talents in the next week or 2. So that would also be possible. Then I would have level playing ground up to 2000 honor at the moment. I need a little bit more leveling, and then it would be up to 3000 honor. So there's that. So PvP, limitedly doable, but available, and there are some pretty decent rewards from that. I actually haven't even gotten those. Then guilds, you really want to join a guild, because guilds give you XP. And then quests, well, yeah, you could grind quests, but I have chosen not to do that. Arclight search at 22, this is the really big thing. And it comes just in time too, because at 22 sigils, you have completed Elven Forest, Westfall, then Duskwood, Stranglethorn Vale, and you have just entered Barrens. And Barrens at 22 sigils, that means that you have defeated Charga, and you're up against Galio, Hetzrul, and Gromash next. And these start to be a little bit more difficult fights, but that's just the point where you get the Arclight searches, and Arclight searches are going to give you gold, 800 gold per week if you just do them. So that's going to give you more minis, that's going to give you more collection level, that's going to give you the chance to take on the next opponents. So that's going to be really sweet. And then after that, well, after Barrens you go to Ashenvale, and Ashenvale has some challenging encounters, Tidress, and especially Rain. Rain is pretty huge block, but can be overcome. This is something that you will really have to work on. Rain Wolf Runner, that's going to be your 30 sigils. But once you get through that, then you're going to get dungeons. And dungeons are super important to do, because when you do dungeons, you're going to get army upgrades, grants bonus levels to equipped minis. And army upgrades are going to be super good, because those are just free levels on the minis. And that's going to give you another power boost. So once you get past Rain, which is probably relatively the most difficult part of the game, you get past that and you get into Darkshaw, and this is where you take a moment and run a dungeon. Actually run it multiple times so that you can get those rewards. And then that's going to give you multiple levels. Well, on different minis. Well, at least one level on some minis. So like 0.5 to 1 level probably on your first week. Overall army level. Which is then going to help you tackle Murk Deep and Darkshaw. And after Darkshaw, yeah, you go to Lordaeron. It's gonna be a little tricky, and Hinterlands as well. But once you survive Hinterlands and you hit 50 sigils, then at 50 sigils you unlock the Heroic campaign. And again, after Hinterlands it gets even more difficult in Dustwallow Marsh, like Goreclaw is a major challenge, but you just unlocked Heroics. And then you can go back to Elven Forest and start completing these in Heroic mode. And every faction that you complete them within Heroic mode is going to give you an experience tome. And once you complete all 5, you're going to get a bunch of gold. 200 gold if you're free to play, 300 if you had bought the booster. But as a free to play, that's 200 gold right there. That's another 200 gold. And I'm not even as far as I could be. I could be doing more of these. So that gives you another progression boost. You get more gold, you get more XP. So then you're able to just push on a little bit again. So I actually find the campaign design quite nice. It's not so that you would just play through the campaign just in a single sitting as a free-to-play, but you play through the campaign and then you get PvP, you get Arclight searches, then you get dungeons, then you get the Heroic campaign, and you do these small side steps into completing some of that content, which is then going to give you another power boost so that you can keep progressing the main campaign. And it's probably that because people don't generally think in those terms, they just want to progress the main campaign, that they complain that they hit walls. Another thing is that this is not an easy game. This is actually a pretty hard game. This is probably way too hard for a mobile game. This is like PC game level of difficult. And that's another thing that maybe might not fit the expectations. I mean, if you're expecting this to be an easy casual game where you just blast through all sorts of missions, then that's not going to happen that easily. Because there's quite a bit of difficulty in this game. But I have found free-to-play progression to actually be quite well built. If you know how to play this game, then you are able to progress. You take those small side steps and then you keep moving on, and I have no doubt that I'm going to finish this campaign. A few zones left, but yeah, it's so I have done it before on my main account, so I know that I will be able to do it, even as free to play. So campaign can be done, then there's the Heroic campaign, and yeah, Heroic campaign, you can do a bunch of Heroic campaign, but then probably the real walls are going to start appearing. Well, see these, level 21. Now we are going to need a ton of XP on the minis to reach these levels, so at some point in the Heroic campaign is probably where you will stop progressing as free to play. And then you will have to like wait until you get more gold, until you get more XP, and then you're able to progress again. But even as free to play, it's pretty smooth going throughout the actual main campaign, if that's your goal. And then PvP is another point where free to play, I mean, you will be able to get to 3000 per leader. And after that, the playing ground is not going to be very level. Unless and until you have then played the game for quite some time in order to catch up. But overall, free-to-play playability, people often ask me, is this game free-to-play friendly? And yeah, I mean, if you're playing this for the storyline, yes, you will be able to experience the entire storyline as free-to-play without too much of a difficulty, other than just the inherent difficulty in this game. Like, this is not meant to be a game where you can just roll your face over your phone and win everything. So I actually like this as a free-to-play quite a lot. But it takes a little bit of knowledge on all those side steps that you're going to take in order to fully enjoy this game as free-to-play. So I hope this video gave you some kind of idea of how free-to-play friendly the game is and what you can expect as a free-to-play player. And I must say that I have enjoyed this game as free-to-play tremendously. I think it's actually been a little bit more fun than it was on my paid account, because there's so much challenge. You're just overcoming one challenge after another, and that's really fun. And if you don't want to spend too much time on those, well, there's always my YouTube channel where you can find guide videos, so that you will be able to ease up a little bit and just gain insight that will help you progress. So, Warcraft Rumble, would I recommend it to a free-to-play player? Yeah, I actually think that yes, I would. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.